Sajid.
Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, brother?
I'm okay. You can relax, Sajid. It's going to be a light-hearted program. It goes on for an hour. Sajid, what we want to talk about is what you've achieved at the Garden of Peace. I mean, I've known you for a long time. Not everybody knows the work you do in the background and the hard work that you're putting in. So let's talk about that. Tell me, how did it start?
My mum passed away 10 years ago, and we used to go to Qabristan every Eid, twice a year in Eid, and the state of the Qabristan was like a jungle, and to me it was like a two-tier system there, so that's what got me involved.
What do you mean by the two-tier system?
Two-tier system, because like the Muslim section was always like not looked after and anything, and when you go down the Christian side and the other side, that was always cleaned up and everything. So they weren't really doing a good job on the Muslim side. It was overgrown. Even the graves, you couldn't see half of the graves. And, really, since my mum and that got me involved, and we started from there.
I've certainly noticed the difference when I've been there. This started a long, long time ago, but since you guys came over, we've noticed that the grass has been cut regularly. It's been mowed down. All the trees that we had, which were overgrowing, you've trimmed that down as well. Literally, it looks much more pleasant than it was all those years ago.
It looks like a newer place.
Much. You guys have done a good job. You've got good credit to you as well. And you have put a lot of effort in there, you and your team. You're forever working there. Sometimes I wonder whether you actually have a job somewhere or not. If you're not at your job or you're at the cemetery, you never stop.
I always look at it, the cemetery is our last home.
Which is true.
I always say that, it's got to be clean. That's the way I always look at it. Every time I go to that Qabristan, I always look at it that way. That is my actual home. So,
which is, and you've been doing this thing for a long time, and you do it with a passion.
Yeah, I do it with a passion. I'll give you an example. When my dad passed away about 20 years, and I see this every single time I eat time. We used to go to the Qabristan every day when my dad passed away. Then we faded away. Then we start going twice a year at Eid time, like 2 days before, to clean up the qabr, to make it look nice. And that was it. Then we never used to go back. And, I see it all the time. And I do explain and I do speak to people on this. We were like that. I was like that. My brother was like that. And, we've made them changes. And since my mum passed away, I'm in that Qabristan every single day without fail.
Certainly when I've gone there, I've always found you there. You're always doing something, cleaning up, putting signs up, tidying up, checking the gravestones, literally everything. I don't think there's anything you haven't done there.
Done everything there. I think the biggest issues we had in there when it was in the media, in the newspapers and everything, how every time that when there was a janaza or when there was Eid, you had at our funeral time, people parking and
it was chaos.
People's graves.
It was chaos.
People were actually parking on Christian graves. I've seen that myself, and it was a big kick-off, and we got that sorted. And that's when got involved with the council and everything, and we decided that we're going to take over that. We're going to sort out the parking. So, excuse me, got the parking signs done, got the cones out, the one-way system, and over the years, mashallah, it made a lot of difference. And from the residents and all, we've had the feedback from the residents that everything's running smooth and everything. So it was a good challenge, and we got there.
It was a huge challenge because I remember when we used to go, before you guys got involved in it, there was no system in place. People were parking everywhere and the system wasn't used properly, parking everywhere. People's driveways were being covered as well. And you guys came in, you had your marshals in place. Parking was spot on. People could go in and out without any hassle at all. It was just amazing. And since then, every Eid, we never have a problem now.
No, we've changed it. Every Eid is guaranteed. We work with the council, even during the COVID time. Mashallah, Kasu and his boys were there, and we were working very close with the council, and also I know a lot of the security staff at the council. They were there, and everything ran really smoothly and everything. 2 meter distance was kept in place. Everything was in order, and everybody, mashallah, everybody took notice, and it worked. We had no issues at all. So, mashallah, went brilliant.
Now, there's loads of other things that you've been involved in as well. One of the things which I came over and with quite a few of the guys, and when you did your appeal for people to come over, you put some new planters out. That was quite a day.
Yeah, that was an
Really
excellent
enjoyed
day.
it. That was a really, really good day. It was well organized. And I'll tell you something, loads of kids came that day as well.
Yeah, it's an open thing. I mean, we need to start getting more kids involved and women and kids. And, I think it's a very serious thing, that one, that we need to raise these issues that, I mean, in our time, all I was told, like, when my mum passed away, my dad, that women weren't allowed. And, we changed that aspect. Now you got a lot of women coming down. We've also set up a women's group who come to the Gobblestan. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, like, to do a bit of planting and everything. And, mashallah, it's going brilliant. And we've had quite a few women who've converted to Islam and everything. And they've come to us and, like about the cemetery stuff and everything. And, they're working with us. And, we're trying to help as much as we can. So
that's now, tell me about this women's group you've set up. That's interesting. I didn't know about this. I've known you for a long time. You never mentioned that to me, not once.
Well, we've got...
Because I get loads of people some of the women asking me, say, what do I, and I'm just telling them, well, you need to go on your own. But if you have set up a group, that's really good. Tell me about that.
We're organising more, getting everything in order. Going to get a couple of women in charge. So when we're there, they're there. Outside the janaza place, we had a planting day, and when they planted all the flowers and everything outside the janaza place. I mean, even like women are learning on this stuff and all, like, because end of the day, when they say women ain't allowed to go to Qabristan when there's a janaza and everything, and a lot of women don't know this side. And we've taken women on tour in the Qabristan. That's a janaza place. This is how we do stuff and everything. And it's very interesting. A lot of women are getting interested in it.
That's really good.
It's educating.
It is. I'm glad you mentioned it, because I wasn't even aware that you had set up a group. That's something we need to advertise through our community tech service as well.
Oh, definitely.
Who do they need to contact if they want to?
They need to come through us, because we're very careful what we do. Like when somebody works under us, we're covered on £10 million liability insurance. We take health and safety very serious. I mean, I myself, like, I'm a qualified first aider, so, everything's on board, so everything's there, all the support's there all the time.
That's really good. Would you mind, who do they need to contact? Do you have a telephone number you'd like to share with us so they can contact somebody if they need some advice or support or anything?
If they contact me, I mean, I'll give them all the details. I'll give them the sister's phone number if she's okay with that. So.
Okay, well, what's your number if they need to contact you?
That's 0786 786 2474.
So that's 0786 786 2474. Write this number down. If you're listening in now or watching it on Facebook, please write this number down. Contact Sajid, and he'll be able to help you and put you in the right direction of what help you need. Is that okay, Sajid?
I'm happy with that.
Okay, so make sure. I think your phone's going to be busy when we finish this program.
I've not got a problem with that.
I know you haven't.
I always answer. I mean, I'm a busy man myself, and also, like, I mean, if I need to get back to someone. Someone leaves a message, I will ring them back.
Okay, no, that's good. So, yep, I just need to mention, Sajid has got a full-time job as well. So when you do ring him, if he doesn't answer, he's not ignoring your calls, he's doing something. But send him a text message with your name, what you need to know about, if there's any issues. He'll get back to you with all the answers. Is that okay, Sajid?
That's fine. Just on top of that, we're updating our website. And, like before and after photos from day one we started to last Eid. So, I'll send that information out. We've got a notice board in the Qabristan, and, the notices are always there.
So you're going to have photos from the day from 9 years ago?
From 9 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm trying to sort everything out the day we started, the full history of it, because in August it'll be exactly 9 years.
That's 9 years when you 9 years when you started?
Because we are thinking about it, see what happens with this COVID stuff, that, we want to have an open day and, invite everybody, take them on a tour, explain to them, like, what we've done, why we did it, what was the reason behind it. And, it's more educating. I mean,
that's really good, actually. I think we need, once you find out if you're definitely going to have an open day, please do let me know.
I will definitely.
We can advertise it and get everybody involved in it. I'm sure people would love to come to this place and see what's going on, the work you're doing and everything.
I mean, it's like, I remember, you were there when we did the planting day, when we got, I think it was 5 planters we got. And as I'm a chair of the BAME committee, Black Asian Ethnic Minority for Unite, We got them to sponsor as a planter, and mashallah, they gave us £500 for a planter. So
I remember that because we had quite a few people involved, and Mumtaz, our vice, she was involved in that as well.
Mashallah, she did a good job with all Mumtaz.
It was really good. And it was good. Everyone enjoyed it as well.
It's multicultural because, I'm a strong believer in equality and diversity, and that's the most important thing that we should be bringing into the Qabristan at the moment because, it's a shocking thing that when I got involved, it's like the way I was brought up, the masjid I went to and everything, and when I got there, you can't do this, you can't do that. They were saying women ain't allowed and everything, but, my heart says once you enter that Qabristan, everyone's equal. No one's we all value the same.
I think that what it is, there are different schools of thought. So there's some people who say no, some people say do, but it's an individual choice. So it's something that it's a debate we can have some other time. But certainly it's a choice that everybody can make on their own, but nobody's going to be barred from entering. So if you do want to go, and I see loads of ladies, because especially if you haven't got any men in your family, and if you're the only woman, or you've got children, you've just got a daughter, what happens then?
I'll give you an example on that.
Yeah.
Where my mum is, there's a cupboard at the front there, and it's a female who comes there, and she looks after the cupboard. I help her sometime, and she comes there every Sunday. And a couple of individuals commented on that woman should not be there. So I turn around and I go, give me a reason why she shouldn't be there. They're coming out with all this stuff and everything, yeah. So I turn around, because I know the cupboard inside out now, I could tell you which grave is neglected or what. So I took them to a cupboard here, and I go, look, these cupboards here, they're so neglected, it's unbelievable. Why don't you guys come and sort them out if that's the problem? Yeah, because that woman ain't got no male in the family, she does it. So mashallah, look at it, she's looking after it.
Yeah.
And one of the brothers turned around, he goes, brother, it's Allah's will that cupboard is supposed to be like that. And I turned around and I said to him, maybe it's Allah's will, he sent me here to sort it out.
Which is true.
And, I might not know that much about religion or that religious here, but
there's,
he turned around and he goes to me, I still remember the words. He goes, brother, I never looked at it that way, but you know what, mashallah, you know what, you're right. And you know what, a lot of things change from there. So it's like, we're learning and educating all the time.
You never stop learning, Sajid. There's always something new you learn all the time. You meet different people, and certainly when we're at the Qabristan, you meet all sorts of people, different communities, different backgrounds, and they've got different customs as well.
Definitely.
And it's just something that you've got to live with it, and it is what it is.
See, over the years, there's a lot of changes that we need to understand, and a lot of the community need to understand that there weren't many Muslims around that time, but over the years, a lot of people come from different countries, Somalians, you got Polish, you got the Turkish, you got different ones, and every funeral's done differently and everything. And, I've been involved with a lot of this stuff, I will actually go and help when they're digging out a cupboard, and, I like to learn about the way everybody does it differently. And, mashallah, it's been a good lesson, good educational lesson. And, it's been brilliant. So I'm working with every single one. I understand everybody's...
Back to the culture, how it's done and everything. No, that's good, mashallah. Sajid, sorry to interrupt. We've just had a question come through. It's Anna, so we don't know who sent it in. What is the organization's objectives, and what services do you personally offer? Any particular services that you offer, or what's your objective?
We offer
I know what you do, but obviously people who don't know you.
What it is when you got the graves that are neglected and everything, someone comes up to us, we'll make sure we get hold of the council, because it's the council's job to do it. We're volunteers. We'll get hold of them. If they don't do it, then if we're there, we'll get our volunteers to do it. So, we're always there.
So what do you mean issues with the graves? In what sense?
If the grave was sunk, or there's an issue with the grave, the headstone's loose, or it's neglect. You get a lot of stuff sometimes get a lot of rubbish and that stuff around there. We've been having issues a lot with a couple of years ago with food.
All right, tell me about that.
People were throwing food in the middle of the roundabout, and individuals were throwing it on the cupboards. You had a bag of flour, you have rice, naans, everything people disposing.
What, actually throwing food there?
Yeah, once we upload our website, you'll see all this stuff. And, we did, I did have notices put up there, no food allowed. And I got that done in all different languages, so, there's no excuse. And it was still happening, and eventually the council did catch somebody, and they were fined.
Oh, that's good.
And what makes it worse, it was a restaurant owner.
Really? Oh, my God. Just one thing I've noticed, they've actually got CCTV, and they've actually got a voice over thing as well, so they can actually speak to somebody who's doing something. Is that...
Yes, they say, but who's monitoring that CC camera all the time, 24/7?
So sometimes whoever's monitoring, if they see something happening, they can shout out to them.
And all right, it's changed now. It's stopped now, but recently it started again. But when we explain, all right, some people believe in it, like you feed the birds and everything, like they're doing the right thing. But we explain to them, like, pouring food there and everything. You got rats.
It's attracting vermin. It's not a nice thing. It's not a nice thing. Can I just ask everybody who's listening in or watching us on Facebook, please give us a call on 0116 482 2086. So 0116 482 2086, or you can text us on 07748 855 055. That's 07748 855 055. Sorry about this, Sajid. I need to get people to ring in so they can ask you questions. I'm sure there must be loads of people out there who've dying to ask some questions and what you guys have been doing and everything.
No problem.
Tell us about your involvement with the church side as well. We've got the janaza car that's been built recently. We'll talk about the janaza where we pray the namaz and everything. Tell us about the church side, because that you've got a very fascinating story about that.
Right, the church, before the janaza place was built here, we used to do janaza outside the church. Then, we eventually got the janaza place built, so mashallah, that was a good move. Now with the church, because I work with a lot of Christians and other faiths in that Qabristan, we were trying to get the bell going, the chapel bell. And the last time that bell worked was in 1970.
Good Lord. So 1970s, the church, the bell is never tolled?
The bells never rang. So I did go up there. I'm scared of heights, but I managed to go up there with the gentleman from Loughborough who actually put the bell in there.
All right.
And I think that was in 1929. And, hopefully, inshallah, we were saying that, if we could get it going, it'll be quite good for, like, different communities, different religions. And
so what is being in the process of being fixed at the moment? Or
I'm already involved with that. We've got funding for it, a lot from the Christian side. They said they'll sort that side out and everything, fund it and everything. And we've been involved with that. And because I've got a couple of Christians on my committee, I work with them and all.
Okay.
So it's going forward quite good.
So I remember we used to pray the janaza namaz outside the church. On the side, there's a little place where when it was raining we used to pray the janaza namaz there. So I have some memories about that. And obviously now that we've got our own janaza, so it's a nice, being a huge leap from where we were and where we are now.
I'm not sure that many people might know this. That janaza place is the first janaza place in a cemetery in the whole of Europe.
The only
janaza place
in a cemetery
in the whole of Europe.
Oh my God! It just shows how diverse Leicester is, and generally if you think about it, United Kingdom, we are such a diverse kingdom, and we cater for all religions. I think it's just amazing. I don't think there's any, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I don't think there's any other country in the world that embraces. There are issues. I'm not going to say it's 100% perfect, but if you think about it, I think there aren't many countries in the world that embraces all religions and you're allowed to practice and they accommodate everybody in their practice. I think it's really, really good. I think it's amazing. Tell us about the janaza, please. What actually happened and everything.
I'm doing a history and research on that, and I've got all the documents on that at the moment. It was a gentleman named Mr. Butt.
Mr. Butt, yes, I remember him.
I think at that time we were just young kids then. He was in charge of the Pakistani Association, and a funeral took place, and they couldn't get a body or something, and that's when he went to the council and actually fought for a janaza place. And mashallah, God bless him. He left us a good thing. So it's still ongoing, and I think I am going to do history on it. I've got the newspaper cuttings and everything, and want to have an open day just on the janaza place. You can educate the youngsters and, what's it there for, the reason why it's there for, because you get a lot of other faiths that walk past it and ain't got a clue what it is, but, we're educating them at the same time.
With the janaza, Mr. Butt, I remember when I got involved with the cemetery when my mum passed away. Been a long, long time. And it all started off when it was flooding. It was flooding then, it's even flooding now. We'll talk about that later on. I'm sure you've got a few things to say about that. And we asked all our councillors, and not one person bothered to turn up. Keith Vaz, I don't think he was around, but the only MP who actually bothered to come was the late Jim Marshall. He got involved, and Mr. Butt, he came round and he saw it and he said, right, I'll make sure we do something about it. And there's quite a few other councillors who got involved and they helped. They did something about it, but obviously not to that effect. And that's when we started MBCO. That was all those years ago. When my mum passed away, we were trying to get things up with our association, Muslim Khatri Association. We got involved in that and said, right, we need to do something. So we sent letters out to the councillors and everything, the MPs, we got involved, and that's how MBCO was formed. And do you know something? You're talking about MBCO signed the first agreement in Europe with the council where they could organise the funerals. The only place was Leicester that actually signed an open contract with the council, which was really amazing. And it was Iqbal Gumran who signed that. My brother who actually signed the agreement, he was with MBCO at that time. So MBCO was formed, it was handed over, and then elections were held, and then obviously MBCO have been doing it ever since. But that's how it actually started. And unfortunately, the one thing that we haven't sorted out is the flooding. Tell me something about it. So what is it that we can do to stop the flooding?
I think on the flooding side, they did put drainage in. And if you do, I mean, you know, if you look at the photos, like when we sort out the website and everything, the way that Qabristan was and the way it was, like the way it used to get flooded, and you know, it's a lot of difference now. And the problem we have in this Qabristan is a lot of clay.
Yeah. Now,
when you got water on clay, it just stays there. That's the problem. And like same with the new section now, like from the old section, you know, you got water that runs down a bit, and I keep saying that they should put drainage system there. They've got drainage at the end, but where it separates from new to the old,
okay,
they should put something there so the water just goes into there, so it's not going to the new Qabristan.
Because what's happening now is I've been to some of the funerals, and they dig up the grave, and there's water in it, and then they've got to dig another one. You can imagine how difficult it must be for the families. They've come to bury their loved one, and then it's full of water.
Right, on that one, I always say this. I mean, my brother passed away in December.
Yes, yes.
You know, I mean, mashallah, you know, because I do a lot for the council, they help me out and everything. So, you know, I mean, they weren't doing me favours, but because I've done a lot for them, so they were looking after me. And I've seen it all the time with when a cupboard's like, when it tops up with water and everything. And I always say this, nobody should go to the cupboard, yeah. Let the diggers go there and everything, yeah. Let them dig out the cupboard and everything. And once the cupboard's dug and everything, if it's okay, yeah, then you call the family. If it's full of water, yeah, they could go to the next one. But you don't want families seeing things like that because it can affect.
Yeah, because the problem we've got is, I would call it a problem. We need to bury our dead quickly.
Straight away, yeah.
So what happened is the guys at the grave diggers are doing an amazing job. I mean, I've got to give them credit. Rain, shine,
brilliant.
Snow, they work in every sort of condition, and they're always smiling. I've never ever known them to complain. They do an amazing job. Honestly, they do an amazing job. You can't give them enough credit.
I wrote a letter to the director on that. You know, we should be praising these guys because what they do. Because through COVID, you know, you got the national health. Everybody's like standing up for everybody. But what about the cemetery staff?
Yes.
Right? They've been recognised. You know, they are the front key workers, and it's
They
important.
work non-stop. They work non-stop. And they had to do more work because people weren't allowed to bring their relatives in to attend the funerals, help out with the funeral. So they ended up doing all the work as well.
They're brilliant. I tell you, they've done a brilliant job. Mashallah, a really good job. And, you know, support of, like, you know, what Cassie was doing, and, like, he had everything organised on the Muslim side. You know, praise the brother and his volunteers who were helping at that time. They really did a good job.
But no, it's true. I mean, you've got to give them credit. I think they've done a really amazing job. If you're listening or watching this on live, next time when you go to the cemetery, just knock on the office door and just say thank you to them. It means a lot to them. It's not monetary, but buy them a box of chocolates or something. You don't honestly realize the amount of work they put in. You don't even hear about it, and they don't complain. And what they do is they should do their rounds at the cemeteries sometimes when there's heavy rain, some of the graves sink, and they go out, fill it up, so that when the relatives come in, they don't actually see what's happening to the graves. So they just see everything normal. But they do an amazing job, really do an amazing job. You've got to give them credit.
They are brilliant, seriously. I mean, so many times I'll ring up because I know them really well. I go, can we get this sorted straight away before the family's turning up, they'll get it done. And when, a lot of people, when they ring me, they go, oh, like, so-and-so's passed away. I go, listen, don't worry on the graves digging side, because I know them quite well. And, they all, as soon as I ring up and everything's always done properly. They do properly stuff anyway, but they'll go that extra mile to...
Yes, they do. They do too.
They're brilliant, and they never say no to anybody, but mashallah, they're really good guys. And, they need to be recognised. It's like what you just said, brother. Just a thank you would make all the difference. Thank you would make all the difference.
They do. I mean, they do an amazing job. There's no doubt about it. Now, tell us about the watering cans. I know every time we come in, you've got everything filled with watering cans, and the next thing you know, there's nothing there.
They're all gone. Right.
What's actually happening? Who's the phantom? Who's the phantom thief who's nicking all the watering cans? I'd love to know.
Someone must know. I'll tell you on that, Razak. When we got first involved, I don't know if you remember, people were bringing in milk cartons.
Yes, yeah.
And in the old section, you had all milk cartons stuck on the fences. And, you had buckets and everything. So what we did, we did a clear out. And it must have been about a good 200 cartons we collected. And
those bottles, the gallons, the milk gallons, yeah.
And I remember the first time we did, we put, I think it was 80 watering cans. We had our logo, I got my Saffron Garden.
Yes, yeah.
80, and I remember having an extra 100.
So you had 80 plus another 100?
Now, everything was, mashallah, everything was brilliant. We were telling, we put places where, once you finish with the water can, please put it in the same place where you picked it up from. Then, you had people neglecting this, like you've had people like using the watering can, can't be asked to walk and just used to leave them lying around.
Oh.
And, we used to go around picking up. There's quite a few people doing that. And, if you say something, you don't offend nobody in the Qabristan.
It's just common courtesy, isn't it?
And, then they start going missing. And somebody said that, maybe it might be somebody from the outside or coming from the Christian side and they taking it. So I turned around and go, what, let me make life easy for everybody. So what I did, I had a lot. I come in the cemetery one day, and on a Sunday it's quite busy with the Christians.
Yes,
Christians come in Sunday, and I've got this woman on my group from the Christian side, and we went out and we gave every single person a watering can.
You actually handed one out?
Yeah, to every single Christian who's coming there and everything, like, keep this in your car, seeds and everything. I've done that a lot on our side and everything, but like what you said. It's one of them things. It don't matter how many watering cans you put there, they're gone.
I can never understand. I've come in one day it's full of watering cans, and you come in a few days later, they're all gone. And I'm thinking, what's going on?
Someone must love watering cans.
Or someone's got a big, must have a huge garden, and they need the watering cans. God knows what.
Even on that, I'll be honest with you, we get them all the time. I mean, I always say, every month, go down, I'll top them up, and they keep going missing, but end of the day, I've got a passion for the Qabristan.
I know you have. I mean, I don't think anybody can doubt. I mean, I've known you for a long, long time, Sajid, and ever since I've known you, you've been working at that non-stop. It's been raining, it's hot, but you're just doing it.
You asked the question, when did we start it, and we used to say, right, we're going to start it next week. We're going to start it next week. So we never did. So it come to a day, and I remember this really well. It's like January time. It's really cold and raining, and there's about 3-4 of us, and we go, let's start it, and we started it, and mashallah, we went from there. But the biggest shock we had is it must have been overgrown trees and plants and everything. It must have been about a good 3-4 feet over, and when we start cutting everything. We did not even realize that we were stepping on gubbers.
Oh my God!
These are so neglected gubbers here that nobody even knew they existed. So when we cleaned all that whole section and everything, it's quite shocking. But it opened our eyes, and I think it opened everybody's eyes. And once we started, There's no stop.
No
That was
stopping
going
that.
all the way. I mean, that passion, cutting it down, trees, everything, looking after cupboards, and mashallah, it's the best feeling you could get.
Because I remember seeing it after you'd done the first round. When you enter where the children's side is, and you cleared everything there. Oh my God, it was just, it was unbelievable.
Different place.
When you just stand at the gates and you look around and you think, oh my God, you guys have done a fantastic job.
On this one, I do say this, like it's like now, we talk about issues in the Qabristan, and a lot of issues that we get is like you got people complaining about the council have removed such an item from the qabr and everything, and it's an infringement. You shouldn't be putting them there in the first place, and the families don't know about that, and the council are doing their job, what they got to do, and we tried to liaise with the council, like they didn't know, so leave it. They do that. They're brilliant on that side, and they wouldn't give them a notice, so that actually family could come and.
Can I just get some? I think people who are watching or listening aren't aware that there are different parts of the cemetery where you can put some bits on the grave on the side, and those you can't. Tell us about that. How it works, and how do you go about getting this sorted out? Because loads of people have this issue. Because when they've
I'll tell you where the issue starts from. When you go to a funeral director, and on there, they're supposed to ask you, what do you want? Do you want a lawn or a tradition? Lawn is like just lawn, that's it. And tradition where you can put curbs.
So lawn, let me get this right. It's not, you don't have this top, it's completely flat.
It's completely flat.
That's the lawn side.
That's lawn, and the curbs in the tradition is like where you put the curbs and everything. So you can put that. Now, that's what you pay the council for. So far as the council are concerned, once you've bought the plot and everything, and if you're not allowed to put nothing on it, you're not allowed to put nothing on it, because you've signed that agreement and you've paid for that.
Now, I'll tell you what's happening. Now that you've mentioned it, I don't think many people know that.
Right. Now, I'll see, this is, I get into debate on quite a bit on this. The problem here we have is that our funeral directors, it's their job to actually tell the families, right, this is lawn, this is tradition, which one do you want? And
so they are given that option.
They are given that option. That never seems to happen. This is where, when we deal with a lot of people there, and these are issues that are always raised. When there's a problem, and then it's too late, and the families are grieving. I mean, we understand that side, and it's quite shocking. But I do think that they need to put that in order. I mean, we've put notices of what's lawn and what's tradition, but that's just a notice in the Qabristan.
It's too late then.
No, but that notice just says what's lawn, what's tradition. But when you're doing the paperwork, you need to actually sign what you sign for. Do you want a lawn or do you want tradition?
Now, are there different sides to the cemetery where you can have lawn? So you could have, in the same place, you could have a lawn and you could have one traditional?
No, they're separate.
Okay.
They're separate. I mean, the new Qabristan, the new side, on the left-hand side when you go into the Qabristan, that's all lawn.
Lawn. And the one on the right-hand side is where you can have the... All right, okay.
Families should be told this, and this should be starting from the top, not when you're in the Qabristan.
No, you're right.
This should be told, like, as soon as from the funeral directors are responsible for this. And you go to a Gora's section, I mean, you go to Gora's funerals or something, I mean, I've been to something, it's all organised. And they are told exactly what they're getting, what they're doing.
So I think what we need to do is, if there's any funeral directors listening in or watching, or if you know somebody, please, will you make this clear to the bereaved families, that they're aware of what choices they have when they buy the plot for the grave. It's really important. Now, I wasn't aware of that because I've heard a lot about it, but I wasn't sure how the system works. Now you've mentioned it, I don't think many people are aware of it. So this is important. So if you lose a loved one, then you make sure that you tell the person who's booking the grave for you that you want either you want one that's going to be completely flat or one where you can have a curb section and everything, so you can have everything on there. Is that how it works then? Yeah. So on the flat one, you can still have a gravestone.
Yeah, you can have gravestone.
But you can't have anything on top of the grave, so it's going to be completely flat.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'll give you another example, like in the old section, when I talk about education, we should educate. Now, you got a lot of converts converted to Islam.
Okay.
Now, you know, I mean, this lady there comes there, it's her daughter is buried there and everything. Mashallah, she looks after the grave and everything. Now, what's happened, she's put ornaments on the cupboard.
Is that the one on the old section? In the middle? I've met her. Lovely lady. Lovely lady.
Her daughter is actually a florist.
Oh, okay. She comes from Melton Mowbray or somewhere.
That's it.
Yes, I've met her.
Certain individuals were having a go at her once. That shouldn't be on the cupboard, that shouldn't be on the cupboard, this and that, yeah. Okay, we believe in that and we respect that and accept that. But my argument there was, hang a minute, this lady should have been told from day one that what you can do, what you can't do.
But there's nothing yet.
But now, because she's putting ornaments of like angels and that, yeah, you know, we can't just take them off, we've got to respect that.
Now, let me just tell you something about this lady. Now, I've met this lady. Her daughter became a Muslim, and she's not a Muslim. Her mother wasn't a Muslim when I met her. I don't know whether she's converted or not, reverted or not. I'm not sure. Now, she looks after the grave with a passion. She reverted to Islam. And then she was doing all this. She looks after the grave it's just, I was so touched when I met her. And you know something, there's something about her. You know, when you talk to her, you just warm up to her. She's such a lovely lady. She comes from Melton Mowbray. I've met her quite a few times. Lovely girl. There's a question that's come in on here. Where the janaza salah is offered, the charges are so high, some families can't even afford it. What's the issue on that? How does that work?
Right.
I'll just go through a few questions because we're running out of time, so I'll just go through it. And also, after the whole graveyard is mowed, the gravestones are left, grass on them looking really filthy. Anything your volunteers can do to solve this problem? And another one as well. Amazing work, Sajid. Are you a registered charity or is this a council project? And how can they help you?
Right. We're not a registered charity. We're a voluntary group.
Okay.
And, you know...
So how can they donate to? What do you need funds?
We usually ask if somebody wants to donate tools.
Tools.
Tools is an important thing.
So what, spades and pitchforks and...
It's like
what would you like?
I think at the moment the easiest and the quickest thing to handle is like we use a lot of streamers there now.
What, cordless streamers, petrol streamers or what?
Cordless streamers are better.
What, electric or?
Yeah, electric.
You want electric cordless streamers?
Yeah. Or whatever that can help in the Qabristan.
Okay.
I mean, we do a massive clean-up. We do it every 3-4 months.
Okay.
Especially when it's coming to Ramzan.
All right.
Or when it's coming to Eid.
Yeah.
Without guaranteed on Eid, someone will be there doing it.
Okay. So I'll tell you what. I'll donate 2 cordless streamers from my side. So if anybody listening out there, please get in touch with Sajid. We have your number again, Sajid, please?
That's 0786 786 2474.
Can we hear it again, please, Sajid?
0786 786 2474.
Thank you, sir. We're going to put this telephone number on our website as well, so they can get in touch with you. So please, if you can donate anything, what I suggest is before you buy anything, have a chat with Sajid. So he'll tell you what he needs for the cemetery so we can get that sorted out. Now you'll find that just before Eid times, and even mostly in the summertime, you'll find that he's outside setting up stalls and telling everybody what's involved in everything. So at one time they used to sell honey. I remember buying a few bottles from there.
That was brilliant. That was Leicester. Well, we actually had a beehive in the Qabristan.
Because I remember buying a few bottles from there.
We got a beehive put there. And
yep.
You know, the pollen is supposed to be brilliant and everything.
Yeah.
Mashallah, went brilliant, and they stopped it for a reason. The health and safety, and you know, mashallah, that honey.
It's lovely. The aroma from there when you open the bottle. Oh my God!
It was pure. We're trying to get that going again, so hopefully, inshallah, get it going.
Oh, that'd be nice. That was real. That was pure, natural honey. No adulteration in there. Straight to the bottle. It was really good.
I think a lot of people they don't realize this, that we've actually planted, you know, a lot of trees that will come out from the sides in the old Qabristan and everything. We actually planted over 1,000 trees.
1,000 in that cemetery?
In that Qabristan.
1,000 trees?
From a little stem, we planted little stems everywhere. So, you know, when you've seen them plastic things everywhere.
Yeah.
They were actually the trees that we planted.
Oh, my God.
So, you know, I mean, mashallah, it is brilliant.
So you guys have done an amazing job. Now you also help people who were young offenders and everything as well. They were helping you guys as well, weren't they? So tell us about that. I'm sure it must have changed their lives as well. And they must have gained some qualifications and all that.
Definitely. What happened, I don't know if people used to go to Qabristan on Sunday. There used to be a van there with about a good 12, 13 people.
Yeah.
They were from the young offenders. They were under our banner, under Saffron Garden. They covered on our liability insurance and everything. Mashallah, they used to come and clean, and some of them started coming during weekdays, started working with the council, and they gained qualifications, and they're gone out and they got jobs.
That's really good.
It has made a difference.
So that was from the Glen Parva Young Offender Centre?
Yeah, all different places.
Oh, right, okay.
Mashallah, they did a good job. I mean, the drainage system and all that side, they were the ones who mainly cleaned it out.
Really?
Yeah, that was a tough job.
I can imagine.
So, I was trying it myself, like helping out that time, but, it was tough.
It was a bit too much.
It was tough.
No, that's really, really good. Sajid, I've got to say, what you guys have done there has just been phenomenal. I don't think anybody would have been able to achieve what you have achieved. A Garden of Peace is all down to you. You've got a team, but you've headed it, and the team you've got working with you are just outstanding. Are just pure. Please, when you go back, thank them on behalf of all of us, of the work that they're doing, and we'll certainly be raising funds for your side to help you with whatever tools you need. So we'll start on that now. I'll get cracking on that. So we'll raise some funds for you guys. But let's have your number again, Sajid, please.
That's 0786 786 2474.
So it's 0786 786 2474. That's Sajid's hotline. Give him a call. Yeah. like I said, please, if he doesn't answer, doesn't mean that he's ignoring you. He's busy. He's got a full-time job. And today to get him in was quite a mission because he was at meetings as well. Just let you know that Sajid is quite a big shot in the Unite Union. He does a lot of work. So he was in a meeting, but unfortunately when he agreed with me, he forgot because he's got so much on his plate and then realized. But he did make time. He finished it quickly and came to the studio to come and join me. Sajid, honestly, I can't thank you enough. It's been an eye-opener for what...
Mashallah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and, I think individuals, we all need to learn. And,
yes, true.
I'll give you a quick example.
Uh-huh.
When you go to New Qabristan, we got a dwars done there.
Yeah.
I've got one done on the granite, and I've got on the fences, because first we had them all over the fences.
Yeah.
Now, I did go to a lot of imams, a lot of top people in all different faiths.
Sajid, I'm sorry, we've only got 30 seconds to go, so I'll let you finish off the last. You've got 10 seconds to finish off what you're saying.
So, mashallah, some agreed, some didn't agree, but we got it done there.
You can see that when you drive through as well, you park it there, you see everything, and you know what to pray and everything as well. With that, I'd like to thank you, Sajid. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the success. And from everyone at Haj Radio, thank you so much for being part of the program. Please do tune in again next Monday, 8:30. I'll be with a new guest, and we've got some other programs coming up as well. So please tune in, join our Facebook, follow us. So each time there's a program on, you'll get a ping, and you can follow what's happening. If you've got any ideas, please let us know. We'd like to try new things. We'll be talking about politics, we'll be talking about marriage, we'll be talking about all sorts of things. With that, I'll leave you all. Khuda Hafiz. Have a lovely